Optik Melawai.
For particularly Indonesia, they actually have a long list of what you call it non-tariff barrier that they are actually asking Indonesia to address. I think we are all, in this case, has been familiar with the rule-based system previously, which is in this case, it will be coordinated and led by WTO if we are talking about the trade and investment agreement. And of course, it was not perfect. There are so many issues which just need to be fixed within the context of the multilateral cooperation on a trade and investment. But that was the rule base which is agreed. And with the imposition of tariff by United States, in this case, unilaterally, it's actually changed the whole rule-based system. Many countries have to decide whether you are going to deal directly, bilaterally, which is this is what the United States want, or collectively, which is the United States is not entertaining that, at least until today. So for each country, they don't have any other choice, but then have to negotiate bilaterally with United States. I think each of the country will look at each other, what they've already asked and what they can get from this negotiation. For particularly Indonesia, they actually have a long list of what you call it non-tariff barrier that they are actually asking Indonesia to address. On that particular concern, this is aligned well with the Indonesia own reform. So we want to reform many of what you call it doing business, trade and investment, because the non-tariff barrier directly or indirectly is actually affecting the competitiveness of our economy, especially the ability to attract capital as well as to establish competitive company in Indonesia. So that is actually relatively very aligned with government-owned or Indonesia-owned reform agenda. On the tariff itself, I think through the negotiation, of course, Indonesia also have commodity which the United States need, but at the same time, Indonesia also have demand for a certain commodity. We are importing wheat. We also have the soybean, as well as I think oil and gas is going to be quite competitive with many of the middle, but also like airplane. So these are all the area that we want to use the opportunity to negotiate. Not really framing within the context of the tariff as a prohibiting relationship, but more strengthening the relationship that will mutually benefiting both sides. And as ASEAN, I think we are all, as an ASEAN country, we also look at the other. There are some country which is quite sensitive because they exporting many of the merchandise coming from China or manufacturing in a border of China like Vietnam. So they are getting a different treatment from United States. But each of these ASEAN country agree that actually as a group, ASEAN have a much more opportunity to actually play a constructive role within both regional as well as the global economy.
Mengawali pagi Anda dengan informasi terbaru. Satu langkah lebih dekat, satu langkah lebih mencerahkan. Saksikan Kompas Pagi di Kompas TV Channel 11 pada televisi Anda.